Hi everyone, welcome to Under the Bodhi Tree with Aryaman Hooda. Today I'm here with a special guest, Mr. Geoff Alladice, the CEO of ICC, International Cricket Council. So thank you so much for being here, Geoff. It is a pleasure to interview you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Right. So Geoff, I'm going to start the interview with a tipsy topic of media rights. So as you know, ICC sold its 4-year media rights from 2024 to 2027 for I think $3.2 billion. And India has contributed $3 billion in this, which is approximately 85% of ICC's total revenue. So Geoff, how do you think this huge reliance on one country poses, do you think it poses a risk or it only helps to build up the sport?
It's a good question. I think a bit of both. I think it's we're incredibly lucky that cricket is so popular in India at a time where the Indian media market is so vibrant and there's so much competition, and the premium cricket rights are so in demand. And but in terms of our strategy moving forward, I think we're trying to expose cricket in new markets and try and take new opportunities to diversify, our reliance on that one market. So, on one hand, we're incredibly fortunate with the way the way cricket is positioned at the moment, but on the other hand, we're certainly working to try and open up new avenues as well.
Right. So I think that's really great, Geoff. How India is also adding a flavor to ICC and helping you promote the sport. Now, I was really proud of a progressive announcement which ICC made only 10 days back, where, there will be pay parity for both men and women in the event. So like female players and the male players will receive equal prize money. So Geoff, what was your rationale and what was your thinking process behind this move?
I think that's something we've been moving towards for a while now. I mean, we've gradually been increasing the prize money for our women's events, and I think as we approached a new cycle, it presented an opportunity to introduce parity. And by parity, there's two elements to the prize money. One is you get a certain amount for the position you finish in, and the second one is outside of knockout matches, there's an amount of money that goes to the winning team of a given match in a group or a league stage. So what we've said is that they'll be equal, so that if you finish first in the men's T20 World Cup, you'll get the same amount of money as if you finish first in the women's T20 World Cup, and if you finish fourth, you get the same if you finish fourth. And that the per match rates will be the same as well. And there are differences in the event, as in the men's T20 World Cup is a 20-team tournament. The women's T20 World Cup is a 10-team, moving to a 12-team tournament. So the total prize money pot won't be the same, but for finishing in the equivalent position in an equivalent event, the prize money will be the same.
Right. And, I can see how ICC is actually promoting women's cricket, because I was actually, I got to know that in 2009, there were only 2,000 women cricket fans. And now recently there were like 89,000. So like there's suddenly a huge bloom in the industry, and especially the Women's World Cup. So Geoff, now ICC has 108 countries as its members. And we can see how US and Netherlands, like these countries, are also now actively taking part. So what stops cricket from being a sport in the Olympics, Geoff, and what is ICC doing about it?
Well, I think one of our ambitions has been to be included as an Olympic sport, and we've been running a campaign now for the last 18 months or 2 years with the organisers of the Los Angeles Olympics in 2028 to include cricket on the sports program. It would need to be one of the sports recommended by the local organising committee from Los Angeles, and we've been in discussions and very fruitful discussions. And we'll know in the next month or two whether cricket will be proposed by Los Angeles as one of the sports for inclusion. So, we are hopeful, but you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of negotiations that will need to take place with Los Angeles and the International Olympic Committee, but we've put our best case forward, and we'll see what they recommend in a month or two.
Right. So Geoff, fingers crossed. I hope this actually happens, and I really want to see another India-Australia in the finals of the Olympics. I think that'd be great. So now, Geoff, coming to sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I mean, the India-Australia final at the Commonwealth Games last year was for the Women's T20 event was an excellent event, and I mean, we think there's a lot of advantages from being an Olympic sport, and it will help cricket in a number of our member countries.
Absolutely. So Geoff, now coming to a more personal side of you, I was actually reading an article on ESPN, which was very interesting and showed how you use statistics and analysis. So it said that the trio of you, Fleming, and Harvey moved into a share house where there were basically 3 bedrooms. One was a massive suite, one was a normal size room, and the other one, I want to quote Fleming's in these words, was a dog box that you could swing a cat in and it be hitting its head. So Geoff, could you tell us how you managed to get the middle room?
Well, I thought the big bedroom was quite large and probably more than I needed, and the small bedroom was very small and would have been difficult to live in. So I thought and the second one was quite manageable. So I thought I'd take myself out of the race and volunteer to take the second one, and let the other 2 fight it out over the big one and the small one. So I was quite happy in that room for a number of years.
Right. And I'm pretty sure Fleming didn't have a nice experience being in the dog box, as he says.
I think he won the big bedroom, and Ian Harvey the small one. Yes.
Oh, okay. So lucky man. Right. So Geoff, now, as a young person, I'm concerned about environment deterioration. And I myself have done a lot of projects such as tree plantations, and I organized a marathon wherein 13,000 people ran, and for each person I planted 1 tree. And in international sports, they result in they put like a huge cost on the environment, like because there's new construction, there's use of energy. And if you look at air travel as well, it puts so much pressure on the environment. And there's a studies which says that by 2050, 30 to 50% of sport practices will be cancelled due to either extreme heat or poor air quality. So what has ICC been doing to promote environmental sustainability?
Yeah, good question. I think one of our first steps was to look at, there's 3 elements that I suppose we can look at. One is what we do in our offices and the way we operate day to day here in Dubai. Second one is in our events and the way we manage our events. And then the third one really is in the international aspect of our business and the travel. And I think we did one of the things we did was commission a carbon audit for our men's T20 World Cup in Australia last year. And that the majority of, whilst our footprint is not as large as some other major sporting events, the largest percentage by a long way of the contributor to our carbon emissions was the travel aspect, both whether it's international travel, domestic travel, road travel, and that's not just teams and the events we organise, it's fans as well who travel to those events. And I think whilst at that tournament we did take some steps around what we can do at our event, in that we had Aramco sponsor a number of plastic recycling machines at each of the venues where if you were getting a plastic water bottle, you put it in there and it would recycle and it would come out with clothing material, which we're going to be using at our event later on this year. In terms of what we do in the office, there's steps we've been taking here to try and reduce or increase the sustainability of what we do as an organisation. And I think one of the things is going to be around the international travel aspect is the core of what the ICC is about. In that international Cricket Council means we need to move between nations. So how, you know, we're in the early stages of trying to formulate how we, you know, how we negotiate that, whilst at the same time taking more direct action around the things we can control, which is, you know, what we do here in Dubai and what we do at venues around our events, and what sort of practices are they running to make sure we're more sustainable.
Right. So that's excellent, Geoff. And I'm really happy to know what ICC is doing. And thank you so much for an insightful interview. But before we leave, I have a small question of this or that for you. So let's bring it on. Tea, coffee, or smoothie?
Coffee. I've got one there. I don't know why I'm drinking coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's a coffee. I'm a coffee person.
Be a legendary coach or a legendary player?
Oh, I don't think I was either. which would I rather be? Oh, you would have loved to have been a player, but that didn't work out. So end up.
Yeah, you played first class, and that's pretty big as well. That's great. I mean,
no, I enjoyed my time playing a lot, but very lucky to stay involved with the game as long as I have been.
Right. So now, Geoff, the most Aussie question there can be: Barbie or Vegemite?
What was that? What was the first one?
Barbie, barbecue or Vegemite?
Barbecue. I think. Yeah, we still try to have a barbecue here in Dubai. So, yeah, I still manage to have a few, even though I'm not in Australia anymore.
Right. So have a position named after you or an award named after you?
No, neither.
Well, you have to choose one.
I have to choose one. Oh gosh, a position or an award? I don't like either. Position, probably, whatever that is, whatever it ends up. What's an example of that?
I don't know. Let's say a chair in the ICC saying Allardice chair or Geoff chair or something like that, some position like that.
I don't think it works. Awards are all for the players. So no, administrators are better off out of the spotlight.
Right. So would you have super sensitive taste or super sensitive hearing?
Well, my hearing's not super sensitive at the moment, so it'd probably have to be taste.
Okay, this is very interesting. Commentate for a T20 match between Australia and New Zealand or Australia, India?
Oh gosh. I can't commentate anyway. I've got to say both.
Right.
I enjoy them both. I mean, what about India and New Zealand? Is that an option?
No, that's not an option. I was actually thinking of putting a choice between the Ashes and India, Pakistan, but that would be too difficult of a decision. So I thought this would be relatively easier.
I'm very neutral here. We can't. They're both great series.
Right. So thank you so much for your time, Geoff. It was a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very enjoyable being with you. Thank you.